leaves the property and it bites a person, or the dog goes off and bites two other animals, that the dog wasn't protecting its own pups, or that the dog was not being taunted. That is clear. That's worked. We know what an inherently dangerous dog is. There should be no breed-specific determination of an inherently dangerous dog. Pit bulls are no more inherently dangerous than Rottweilers, Dobermans, or German Shepherds. The other question, the other problem is that they talk about mixed breeds. Is that 5%? Is that 51%? We don't know what a mixed breed is going to be because the courts didn't establish that. What we do know is that the pit bull is not inherently a bad dog. It's the people who raise it to be bad. And that's what should be done. Real quickly, the legislators are all going to speak, but we've got to be in there at 3 o'clock to address the budget. But here's where we are currently. My understanding is that Speaker Bush has said, look, if the Senate President yields on this, he's willing to let it go forward. My understanding is that we could get this thing done. We've got enough time. It would have to be done now. The Senate President has said his thoughts on this are what he wants to do is to have us study this You're preaching to the choir, folks. What the Senate President has said is he wants to put together a group. He's going to study it, work with Brian Frost in judicial proceedings, and come back here in July when we do the next special session dealing with the gambling. And my response to that was, what are we going to do with the thousands of dogs that are going to be put down in the interim? What are we going to do with the people who lose their homes? What are we going to do with the landlords? We're down here on an artificial financial crisis. This is a real crisis, and we should take care of the real crisis. We're being paid to be here, and we could accomplish something good, and we could accomplish something real by simply addressing this issue. We could do it. We should do it. And if with your support and your friendly, persuasive calls and questions to the Senate President, maybe we can get some movement on this. Thank you very much. We're going to have Melanie.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Delegate Mizeur from Montgomery County, and it's been my pleasure to join up with Delegate Smigiel on this bipartisan affair. And in a minute, we'll hear from several other of our colleagues who have joined with us on this as well. Let's start out very quickly by acknowledging something that I don't want to get lost in this. I know that everyone standing here loves their dogs, is a responsible pet owner, and also wants to make sure that when irresponsible dog owners raise irresponsible dogs and the unthinkable happens and there's a tragic situation where someone is hurt, we want there to be a remedy for that. Yes. We are not without concern for those who are harmed by dogs.
Of any breed.
And I think it's incredibly important that in our fervent advocacy to make sure that one specific breed, or nor any breed, is targeted directly as inherently dangerous. While we try to fight against that, let's not lose the talking point about our empathy and concern for people who have had tragic situations happen to them. So we got to be very clear about that. So we start with that premise. And then from there, we stand up and show all of our vigor, frustration, and concern about this irresponsible ruling that has, in one fell swoop, thrown thousands of families, thousands of dogs into an untenable situation. We have families who are having to choose between their rental home and their beloved family pet. We say no to that. No. We have families who are having to choose between going to a shelter and dumping off their dog or searching for insurance and liability protection that's currently not being offered because of this dangerous ruling. We say no to that.
All prejudice. All prejudice.
We have families who have dogs that have some unknown percentage mix of pit in them that are saying, what does this do to us? How do we know if this impacts us or not? We say no to that.
No.
desperately to have a bright light come out of this special session. We're here to deal with a budget crisis, and that we will do. But we also understand that sometimes the unexpected pops up. This really came out of nowhere, and we have thousands upon thousands of families, beloved pets, and dogs in need that are being put down unnecessarily, and we're going to stand and fight and fight and fight. You've got a couple of pit bulls on your side here. Every time Mike and I team up, we like to remind people that he and I anchor each side of the political spectrum. He's about as conservative as it gets, and I'm about as liberal as it gets. But on this issue, it is not a partisan issue. This is not about ideology. This is about fairness and protection for families and your pets. We're going to fight to get this bill through. There are hours and minutes remaining to make a difference. You being here today matters. Go and visit the Senate President, visit the Speaker, visit the Governor. Let people know that we expect this bill to move this session, that families and dogs cannot wait, that we're expecting us to do the right thing while we're here now and have that opportunity. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you took time off work today to be here. You have someone watching and walking your dogs for you this afternoon so that you could be here. You put together these beautiful posters to show the face of our family pets and the loving nature that they have. When you, loving pet owners, are caring for them in the right way, you don't deserve to be dragged into this mess. We're going to do our best to take care of it for you. So, because this is a special session and it came together very quickly, you had a bunch of advocates and legislators coming to your side. And so we all came here and found that we were tripping over each other, putting bills in the hopper to try to address this problem. And you're going to hear from some other delegates that also have bills on this. We're all working together. We're all on the same team. We're all here to get this done. And next up is Delegate Herb McMillan from Anne Arundel County.